Hello, gorgeous soul, and welcome back to the Mystic Therapist podcast. My name is Brandy, and today we are going to be talking about the ultimate summer glow up. So, how to completely transform mind, body, soul, spirit, your finances, money, wealth this summer and become the version of yourself that you truly want to be. I feel like summer is such a motivational time. The sun is shining, people are going on vacation, people are making plans. And I felt like it was the perfect time to talk about glow ups and just completely transforming who you are. It is never too late to become the person you want to be, whether that's physically, financially, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is for you. I personally have gone through a massive transformation and glow up in all of these areas of my life. I have learned so much. So I'm going to go through each of these categories today and talk about what has not only helped for me, what I have seen help other people, and something that you can take away with you to make this the best summer of your life and completely transform who you are from the inside out and become unrecognizable. So let's get into this episode. Before we get into this episode, I just want to say this is not about like hating who you are. This is really about loving yourself enough to become the version of you that you know is there. This is coming from a place of self-love and that you really want to change your life and you really want the best for yourself. Whenever you are the healthiest, wealthiest version of yourself, you are in the highest alignment with who you are. And it's not always easy to make all of these things happen, but day by day, step by step, adjustment by adjustment, you can make tiny little changes that cause this ripple effect where people will start to notice, you'll start to notice, things will start happening, more opportunities for success and money. You will be glowing, not just from makeup or having to buy new clothes or doing your hair in a better way. We're not talking about that. We're talking about truly glowing naturally from the inside out. Your hair is the healthiest it'll ever be. Your skin is glowing more than ever. Your eyes are more vibrant. Your lashes are growing. Your style, you are so in tune with what you are wearing and how you are carrying yourself. That is the type of glow up I'm talking about. So if you are wanting makeup tips or hair tips or anything like that, or some surface level way of having beauty and a glow up, this video is not for you. But if you want something that's truly deep, embodied, and something that will last forever, that is felt, not just seen, beauty that is felt energetically within yourself and it vibrates around the room, this video is for you. So first I want to talk about why am I talking about this in the first place? Like my own story. So there was a point in my life where I was literally 20 pounds heavier than I am today. Probably a little bit more than 20, maybe more like 25 pounds heavier. I was very unhealthy. I was partying a lot. I didn't pay attention to what I was eating at all. I had horrible skin. My hair was short and it wasn't cute. I was vibrating at a super low level. I was very disconnected from myself. I was surviving. And you could just tell through my nervous system, through my finances, through the way that I looked, through the way that I showed up around people. I was just not at the highest level, that I was vibrating at. So I have been there. I know what it's like to not feel good about yourself. I know what it's like to just want something better for yourself, to want to be the most beautiful version of yourself. And I have gotten there. And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm the embodiment of perfect beauty at all, but I've been at a place where I was not satisfied or confident. I was very anxious and lost, and my nervous system was fried and wired, and I was unhealthy and overweight. And I got myself out of that step by step. I recently took a function health. That is something that I use for my own health. I'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm 28 years old and my biological age is 17 years old. I have dealt with a lot of health anxiety because I feel like the wellness culture online is super toxic and super overwhelming. I know that I'm not alone in that. I know a lot of people feel that way. I feel like every time I get on social media, it's you need to throw this out, or you need to get this new thing, or you probably have too much of this or too less of that, or have you checked that? Or, it was caused me a lot of health anxiety as well. And that's something recently that I actually overcome by just like, getting my own blood results and talking with my own doctors and things like that, and getting my own tests done so that all of the fear mongering that goes on social media, it actually can't affect me as much at all anymore, because I know what I'm doing fine. And the things that I need to work on, I'm aware of, and I can take those supplements that were recommended by me based on my test results. So biologically, I am 11 years younger than my calendar age. So not to toot my own horn, but I'm very healthy from the inside out. Do I have things I can improve? Yes. I will get into all of this. I've gone on a health journey. And it's so much deeper too than just like physical. I'm going to talk about physical health first, but mentally, spiritually, financially, all of those aspects are just as important as well. And they make up the entirety of who you are as a person. So we're going to be talking about beauty, food. We're going to talk about supplements, nervous system, mental health, money, confidence, energy, purpose, all of it. Okay. So number one, we're going to talk about your physical health, your body glow up. How are you going to do this? I was definitely like 25 pounds overweight. So number one tip here for your body glow up is stop making health complicated. Has overcomplicate everything, has caused me health anxiety. And I know if you're watching this, maybe it's caused you health anxiety as well. So you do not need to get up in the morning and do like a 10-step skincare routine. One, like financially, like I can't afford that, and I want to sleep in the morning. Like I don't want to get up and spend an hour in the morning doing all this. I kind of don't have time for that. Some days I do, but some days I don't. You don't need this like 5-step green powder routine. You don't need to be taking all these supplements and you don't even know why. You don't need to pay $200 a month for a Pilates reformer studio or a hot yoga studio. Like you don't need to do all these things in order to be healthy. You just need consistency and some simple rules to kind of take away for your physical health, and things that have worked for me is stop. The less ingredients, the better. So whenever you're at the grocery store and you're trying to figure out what to eat, one, buy whole foods where you don't even have to worry about ingredients, the better. But I know sometimes that's not possible, and start checking your labels. Like, what are you eating? Your food is your fuel. Your food is your medicine. It affects your mind, your body, everything, your energy, your sleep, your appearance, your hair. It affects everything. So you have to prioritize what you're eating, and you have to make sure you are eating good. Am I perfect all the time? No. Occasionally I will eat things that totally are like not aligned with things that I eat all the time. I'll eat things with sugar. I'll, go out to eat and whatever. You don't have to be perfect all the time. You just need to be a little bit consistent, and majority of the time kind of making your food and meals that you eat very intentional. I know that it can be time consuming. I work a ton, and sometimes it's not always the most fun to have to cook. And sometimes I don't feel like cooking, so I order food, but majority of the time I am cooking my own food. I am eating or meal prepping so that it's easier for me in the mornings to eat and things like that. So simplify your foods, eat more whole foods and less ingredients. The next thing here is prioritize protein. So I was a pescatarian for like 7 years, and I just got my blood results back and I had low iron and omega-3s and stuff like that. So, and I actually noticed because I was getting thinning of my hair and I had really low ferritin and like all these other things. So you have to have protein, and you need to you don't need to be like a freak like you see people on social media, like protein, 500 grams of protein a day. Like gets a little like crazy. But if you are not getting enough protein, or maybe you don't eat meat or something like that, you need to be supplementing it with like a protein shake or something like that. Protein's really beneficial. It helps you with energy. It helps you with making sure that you're getting enough iron and just like so many different things. So make sure you're prioritizing protein in basically all of your meals. And with that being said, just your nutrients in general: veggies, protein, fruits, and carbs. And like I said, don't overcomplicate it. Just go into the produce section and just grab different things that kind of hit all those different food categories, and you got yourself a meal there. Moving your body. I work out pretty much every day of the week. Some days it'll be like 5 days, but in general, I'm working out at least every single day for like 30 minutes a day. Is it ideal all the time? No. Like I said, I work a lot. Like I work anywhere from like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day. But this is something I prioritize. And if you want to have a physical glow up, or if you want your booty to be popping, if you want your abs to be popping, your back to be having that sexy back, you're going to have to work out and prioritize that. That's just the way that it is. But with that being said, you don't need, on social media, huge trend with like Pilates studios and stuff like that. You don't need to go and purchase a $200 Pilates membership just because you're seeing that. If you want to, if you can afford that, great. But I'm just saying you don't need to do that. Another thing with working out that I personally love to do, one, I'm always switching it up. I will do strength, I will do Pilates, I will do cardio where I'm like walking uphill on the treadmill. Like I definitely like to change things up and just like keep it interesting. But I have a little app that's $20 a month. It's the WeGlow app, and they have a ton of workouts on there and a ton of different like guides and programs. I've been using that for like almost 2 years and I absolutely love it. And I don't purchase like Pilates studio. I'll occasionally go to like a class like every couple of months, but like I've had a massive body transformation and I've been able to hit my goals with literally just doing workouts at home. I also do them outside. So that's a way to kind of like a little double whammy there is like I'm outside, I'm getting a tan. I wear a hat and like sunscreen obviously, but I like to do my workouts outside. It's hot, it's summertime, and then you get a little bit of tan, you get some vitamin D, and then you're like sweating even more. It's like going to a hot Pilates class whenever you work out outside. So that's another thing that I like to do as well. Sleep, obviously very important. Sleep is like literally like you need sleep. You get your beauty sleep. You need to let your body have time to heal and rest. Am I perfect all the time? No. I'll have random nights where I get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep and it sucks. But then I'll have other nights where I get like 9 or 10 and it's like beautiful. So just make sure you're prioritizing sleep. You're letting yourself sleep in if you have the capacity to, or if you're able to do that. In general, we should be getting around 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It impacts your body, it impacts your mental health, your emotional regulation, all of those things. So sleep is super important. I take like a magnesium supplement and I'll have like tea before bed and stuff. So I have like a little sleep routine that helps me personally wind down. I like to listen to audiobooks too, but just find something that works for you. But sleep is very important for your physical health. So I want to talk a little bit about like my physical glow up story. Like I said, I was a lot heavier. I wasn't feeling my best, lots of emotional eating, not caring what I'm eating, drinking a lot of alcohol. And really what it was these like gradual changes that really changed my entire body. Like it's actually insane what happens when, even if you just cut one thing out, like even if you're just like, I'm not going to stop eating fast food, or I'm going to stop like drinking so much alcohol. I'm not perfect. I still love to go out and have a margarita. I still love to get cookies and like I have the biggest sweet tooth ever, but I've just made little adjustments and it is crazy. You could make one adjustment, your body will completely shift. Acne, the glow of your skin, all of your energy, even your ability to sleep. So it's just these gradual little things over time, and I promise you your body's inflammation will go down, all kinds of things. Another thing I want to mention is like blood tests and health data. So this is something I recently did because I was taking a lot of random supplements just because like Instagram or like TikTok told me to do that. No, do not do that. Go and get your own blood tests and health data done. I used Function Health. I have a discount code if you want that. Just like comment or send me a message if you want a little bit of discount with that. But literally I paid like $365 for an entire year. They do 120 different blood tests and urine tests twice a year. Like my mom is a nurse practitioner and I told her that and she's like, that price is like kind of unheard of. So honestly, it's a really good deal. And I'm so glad that I did it. And like I said, I honestly was doing really well health-wise. Like I said, my biological age was 11 years younger. There were things I had to work on. I have a genetic predisposition to cardiovascular disease. So like, although I'm very athletic, I'm very healthy, naturally my cholesterol levels are just elevated. I wasn't getting enough iron, wasn't getting enough of a couple different things. So I took health, now I only take supplements based off of my health data, not what everybody else is doing, because you don't want to take health like supplements and like you don't even know what it's helping, if it's changing anything. Like, do you even need it? You might not even need it. And you might be overdoing it. So definitely just get your own stuff checked. because what works for somebody else and what somebody else is doing, it might not work for you. It might not be what you need at all. You might need something totally different. So health is so personal. And I think the wellness industry, I really think it's just like this like big money making industry at this point. So take all of it with a grain of salt and just focus on your body is such a big piece of advice, especially if you have health anxiety too. Supplements I personally take, I love Symbiotica. They're like those easy little like squeeze packets. Like I said, I take iron. I like to take vitamin C with my iron and just in general when I'm like running around and like I feel like I just need an immune boost. I also take a protein supplement because I definitely know that I don't get enough protein too. But you don't want to obsess over these things. Supplements are there to support you, not replace healthy habits. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about, and then we'll get into mental and spiritual kind of glow ups and transformations. Some beauty secrets, some like natural beauty secrets. So personally, I love putting on makeup. I love getting glammed up. I love doing my hair. Right now, I'm like completely natural. Didn't do my hair, didn't do anything. But the hottest thing in the world is like being healthy and natural and natural. And so if you look beautiful as your natural self, which every single one of you watching this, you do. Like whether you're spiritual or not, you were put on this earth and you were designed in such a beautiful and unique way. There is not a certain standard of beauty. People all over the world are so beautiful in their own different ways. Their hair, their skin, their features, their energy, their eyes, their lips, their bodies. There isn't one body or one type of way that is beautiful. You are beautiful. You just need to lean into your unique features. And I promise that is the most beautiful thing in the world. So let me give you some like beauty tips, natural kind of beauty tips so that you can start to harness your own natural beauty. So something I do very often, like I'll just do it on my own at home, but I give myself like a lymphatic drainage kind of like oil massage at night. One, it's very relaxing, it's very therapeutic, but like oiling my skin and hydrating my skin, my body, and like just moving things around. You can look up lymphatic drainage and all of its benefits. Very, very helpful. Number 2, simple skincare. I do not do no 5, 6, 7 step routine. I do like 1 or 2 things in the morning and at night. That's it. I wash my face like twice a day in the morning and at night. And I'll put on toner and like moisturizer. At night, sometimes I only do like oil on my face. It just depends. I'm also kind of switch it up, but I like to just keep it really, really simple. You don't need to buy 100 different things. And then also try to get like very natural types of skincare. You don't need to get the most expensive thing on the market. Just what are your skin concerns and your skin goals and kind of like look up what's going to be best for you. Because what works for me, you might not personally need. Hair care, very, very important. I wash my hair, I don't know, like maybe twice a week or something like that. I like to put in like root kind of stuff and like massage my scalp to stimulate hair growth. I like to oil my hair sometimes, keep it very hydrated. I'm all about the hydration. We want to keep things hydrated and juicy looking. And the more you care for anything, the more you care, like the more effort you put into your hair and stuff like that, you're going to see the benefits. Like there's a quote that's like, what you do behind closed doors is what people see in public. So like all of these things that you're doing to take care of yourself, it will matter. Everybody's hair is different. Everybody needs different types of care and stuff like that. But like if you have curly hair, I say lean into your beautiful curly hair. If you have straight hair, lean into your beautiful natural straight hair, whatever it is. I love to use just like plain organic oils a lot of the time. And massage that on my body. And then recently I've gotten into like all natural, like no toxic kind of makeup as well. And I love using it. I use the Ilia brand. Absolutely amazing. Another thing is do spray tan sometimes. And I use Beauty by Earth I use their sunscreen and also their spray tan stuff. If I feel like I want a little boost in my skin, I want it to be a little bit more bronzy. Absolutely love that brand, Beauty by Earth. It's very clean. And then it gives you a little tan as well. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is your mind glow up, your mental glow up. So Nervous system regulation. I harp on this a lot. If you go to my pages, you will see me talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, but it's super, super important because if your nervous system is fried, there is no amount of beauty products that will make you feel good or make you look differently. Like, you are gonna feel that and you will too. So you have to regulate your nervous system. Like thinking about anxiety or being super overstimulated, scrolling, feeling burnt out, all of these things affect how you look and how you feel. So you need to start to integrate a nervous system ritual. I have a whole course on this. I have a lot of videos on nervous system rituals. In the morning for me, something that I do is I do ice, like ice roller on my face, or go outside and get morning sunlight, going on walks, simplifying stimulation. We do not need to have our brain going in 100 different directions at once and doing 100 different things and distractions and scrolling. I try not to scroll like first thing in the morning or like before bed. I try to get off of those things to like allow my mind to relax. So you want to have a mental glow up for your nervous system because when your nervous system is calm and regulated, you're going to be less inflamed. You are going to be more calm, at peace. And so you have to start integrating little nervous system regulation techniques to help with overall calm and ease and flow, whatever that looks like for you. It could even be working out. It could be doing a little meditation. I have meditations on my YouTube channel if you want to look at those too. It could be reading, whatever it might be. Also, another thing for your mind is routines. So the reason why routines are so helpful is because it actually reduces anxiety. It simplifies your entire life. As a therapist, routine reduces decision fatigue. So if you're the type of person who're like, I don't know what to do, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, and I need, like, you're just probably, you're just spinning in your mind and thinking about all these things that you need to do. You need to time block, you need to have a routine. Because when life feels less chaotic, you're going to be more into a rhythm and flow. You don't have to think about what's next. You just know what you need to do. It's written down. You're doing it. You're taking it step by step, hour by hour of the day, instead of always thinking about what do I need to get done. And you're more flowing and in that like being mode through the day, more present instead of in the masculine like, doing mode. So it really helps. Doing a little bit of planning and routine, time blocking actually helps you during the day to be more present and grounded. So there's a little bit of a balance there. Maybe it's like a little morning coffee ritual or a nighttime tea ritual. Maybe it's like on Sunday nights, you do a little weekly reset and like plan for your week. Maybe you on Sundays do laundry and you kind of like declutter some things, just things like that, whatever routine looks like for you. But getting into a routine and a flow really, really helps. Even if you have a ton going on versus not a lot going on. We got to have a routine. We got to have some structure and flow to the day. Even if you schedule into your routine, like free time, like that's something that I do. Like, oh, this is like an open block to just do whatever. I can chill on my phone. I could call somebody. I could do anything that I want during this time because there's nothing on the calendar. Another thing for your mind glow up is you need to declutter. Your environment affects your mental health. So maybe picking a space in your house, in your bathroom, in your closet, in your bedroom, in your living room. Maybe it's even social media. Maybe it's friendships. Maybe it's mental clutter. Maybe you need to make a couple different phone calls or schedule a couple of different appointments or pay a couple bills. You know, all those open tabs that are around, you don't need to do all of them, but just kind of like start closing those mental tabs. Maybe finally today, I literally decluttered under my bathroom sink. It was causing me so much like mental, like just like every time I opened it to grab something, I was like, oh my God, this is just like annoying. I'm overstimulated. I don't want to look at this. So then I deep cleaned it today and that tab is closed, right? So start closing some tabs. Maybe get rid of some clothes. Maybe call and make that certain appointment. Just get it over with because that reduces the mental fatigue and exhaustion and analysis paralysis about when am I going to do this? I got to do this. It's in my mind. It's always there. It's like those things that pop up in your mind whenever you're trying to like lay down and go to bed at night. That kind of thing. Another thing for a mental glow up, romanticizing your life. Something I talk about a lot, and you may have heard this before if you listen to my other videos, but a Pinterest board. Let's create a summer Pinterest board. Like, who is the it girl for you this summer? Maybe you're like tapping into a different persona, you know? Maybe you're like gonna tap into, you know, a Lucy the lioness and she's like wearing her hair down and big and bold and crazy, and she wears lots of yellows and golds and boots and sparkle. Like create like a summer persona of like, who do you want to become? What do you want to look like? What do you want the vibes to be like, for you and your life? You could even create like a summer bucket list, things that you want to do this summer, like even in your local area, or if you have travel, you could create some goals for summer, or like local adventures, fun plans to see certain friends or family. Like stop waiting for life to happen and like get outside, like literally get outside in nature, but also like start going to things, start doing some stuff. Stop waiting and like get into your life. Touch grass, respectfully, touch grass. You know what I'm saying? So start romanticizing your life, make some fun plans, get inspired by Pinterest, and like step into that it girl that I know you are. Okay, part 3 is spiritual glow up. This is the mystic therapist. So, of course, we're going to talk about spirituality. Spirituality looks different for everybody. For some people, it's God, universe, source, nature, purpose, acts of service. It could be anything, but I want you to think about what makes you feel alive. What are you connected to? What is that thing that you're a part of that's like larger than life kind of thing? You could meditate on this. You could journal. Prayer, gratitude, volunteering, even for a cause that means a lot to you, getting involved in something, being out in nature, watching a sunset, a sunrise, getting creative, creating music. Spirituality can mean so many different things. Spirituality could mean just like having fun, right? And like going out and like using your imagination, letting your mind and your heart, like your inner child, kind of run free. So spirituality could mean so many different things, but glow ups happen whenever you reconnect to yourself. Self-love. You need to pour into your soul, pour into what matters to you, what inspires you to be alive. What is that like larger than life kind of feeling that you get? What do you feel connected to? Stop abandoning yourself for everybody else. What matters to you? What do you want to do? Because whenever you become full of like love and purpose and joy and fulfillment, this radiates to everything in your life. Everything in your life, it's like pouring like gold coins into it. Like your relationships, gold coins, yay, relationships are feeling good because I'm feeling good. Even your work and money and success and career, gold coins will go in there. You'll start showing up with like a different vibe and it will just be better for you, like that sort of thing is a ripple effect. When you pour into yourself, when you feel connected to love and purpose and, something more than just like the day-to-day little tasks and things, I'm telling you, you walk differently, you feel differently, you look differently. So start pouring into yourself, start tapping into your own spiritual curiosities. Recently I got really into ancient Egypt and things like that. I'm, considering reading the Bhagavad Gita. I think I'm saying that right. Soon, I have explored like Hinduism and Buddhism, followed my curiosities. And that's a form of like spiritual health. Even like going outside and going for a walk at sunset, spiritual health. Going to like one of those maybe like paint classes, spiritual health. Going and swimming in the ocean with your friends, laughing with your friends, doing fun tarot readings with your friends or even on your own, spiritual health. So that's what I'm saying. Spiritual health. You got to do it. I'm telling you, it feels so, so good. The last thing that I'm going to talk about here is your money glow up, your success, your finances, because this is very important. Like, of course, we want to do all these things, but like, we want to have money too. We want to feel financially abundant. So this is going to be a tough love moment from girl to girl. If you hate your finances, but you refuse to change anything, you're not changing anything. You're just complaining. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to work hard. Like, you're not just going to become a millionaire. You're not just going to have all the money. Maybe you have, like a trust fund or like a partner that really helps you financially. But me, no, I don't have that. I've got bills to pay. I've got rent. I've got taxes. I've got student loans. I want to travel. I want to buy the clothes that I want. I want to buy plane tickets. Like I got things that I want to do. And so I have to work hard to be able to do those things. I don't just get the handouts. Okay. So you've got to start working hard this summer. If you want to change your financial situation or change jobs or pick a new side hustle or add some more hours, or look into maybe a new career path even, or starting school, or taking and learning a new skill that will help you get a job. So I work a lot. I told you I work like probably 50 hours a week or so, maybe sometimes more than that, to be honest, 50 or 60 hours. But that's because I have designed a life of freedom. I get to take off whenever I want. So I work hard and I play hard. That is like my mentality. I literally say that all the time: work hard, play hard. I will work my butt off for weeks and then I'll take off and I'll be like, yep, I'm going to have some margaritas. I'm going to eat lots of pasta. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want because I worked really hard and I deserve this. I made money, so I'm able to do this. So sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit in order to get the finances that you want. There are so many financial opportunities out there, and don't be a victim to like what you hear and see. I know that it can be tough right now finding a job. Like, I've heard that from a lot of people, and I'm not like ignoring that or like bypassing that. I understand it can be really hard to find a job, but maybe you start investing in your own sort of business idea, or maybe you start nannying or doing DoorDash. I did DoorDash for years. Whenever I was in college and whenever I worked in LA, I would go and drive around and deliver food. Like, I did what I had to do. I have nannied before. I have delivered food before. I have walked massive freaking golden retrievers, and I was like so stressed and panting. Do what you got to do in order to make some extra cheddar. You know what I mean? You could always check like restaurants, like if they need extra servers a couple days a week in the evenings. Like, if you need better finances, like go and grind for a little bit to like up those finances, or start doing a side hustle of some sort. Figure it out. Like when it comes to your finances and success, you got to figure it out. You got to start working and think about your future and what you want for yourself. And you need to get really honest on like how you're going to get there. Because for a lot of people, money is not just going to fall into our laps. And I know I love to think that, and maybe it does. The universe is amazing. And sometimes that does happen. And sometimes we get blessed. And we need to tap into that financial abundance. Like, you don't want to operate from a scarcity mindset, but also you don't want to be Delulu, where you're like, everything works out for me, but then you're like, have like $100 left to your name. Like, I've been there before too, where I'm like really struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. Like, whenever I lived in LA, I remember one time I had $12 to my name and I had no food. And so I had to go to the like 99-cent store, and I could only get like 7, 8, 9 items because I wanted to make sure I had enough with like tax. Like, literally, like, I've been there, and because I've been there, I never want to be there again. And so I will work and do the things that I need to do in order to help my own finances. And with that being said, cut out expenses on things that aren't really a priority or in your values are important to you right now. If it's like going out every weekend and then you complain you're broke, well, there's your problem. Or maybe you spend money on clothes, and you're like, I have no money, but you notice that you have a ton of clothes laying around and you're always buying clothes. Go and sell some of your clothes. Even if you just get like 30, 40 bucks, like, that's better than nothing. Start going to thrift stores to buy your clothes. Make some adjustments in your finances. Get really honest. Look at your bank accounts. Look at where your money is going. And I've been there. Like, this is something that I have definitely struggled with in the past. I've gotten so much better at it, but you just got to get really honest with yourself and start making some sacrifices, and honestly just start working harder, because I know that you want to live your life. I'm going to Italy for 2 weeks. I've never done a type of trip like this before. Anytime I've gone to Europe, it's been like 5 days or like 1 week. And I'm going for 2 weeks. I'm taking off work and I'm so excited. But what does that mean? I got to work extra hard until I go there, because I'm having 2 weeks of no income, and I'm, going to be spending a lot of money. It's Europe. It's not cheap. I've done like month-long trips to like Central America, but like, it's cheaper there. It's easier to do that in a lot of ways. So this is more of a like luxury type of trip, which I'm so happy and grateful that I get to go. And I've worked really hard to like make this happen, but I also need to work hard, So you just got to get really honest about your impulse spending and things like that, because your future self is funded by your present choices at the end of the day. So where can you cut costs? Where could you do some extra side hustles, some nannying, some dog sitting, some door dashing, get a new certification, learn a new skill, whatever it is. There's so many resources online where you could find something in order to start making extra money. But yeah, that is basically all I was going to go. I could keep going about like glow ups and stuff like this. But, this summer, I really want you to stop waiting. Stop waiting to feel confident. Stop waiting to feel worthy. Stop waiting to become her. Stop waiting to travel. Stop waiting to become financially abundant. Start becoming her now. Start becoming your rich, hottest, sexiest, healthiest version of yourself now. The little choices, the little micro choices that you make every single day, what you pour into yourself, that is who you are and who you are going to be. The boundary you make, the prayer you make, the time you go and watch the sunset, the day that you worked like 12 hours in a day, the time that you budgeted, for a couple of months, the workouts that you did, all of these things create a ripple effect and create that transformation of the glow up version that you want to be. Discipline. Discipline is huge, but you are capable of doing it. I swear that you are capable to do it, but you're going to need a little bit of all these things that I mentioned. You can't just go full force into like the body glow up, but then like mentally you're crumbling, financially you're crumbling, spiritually you're crumbling. You can't go all into the spiritual side and then you are like not working or not taking care of your health. Like all of these things are interconnected. They all play off of one another. And I want you to just grab a couple things that I said from each little bucket and start making those changes little by little. Don't overdo it because then you're going to fry your nervous system. It's going to be like, what is happening? We're not used to this, but little micro changes. And I promise this summer, you will be unrecognizable. So save this, comment your biggest takeaway, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.